Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Reactor, and today's video is about people with extraordinary abilities. So I was watching this stupid TV show called Superhuman on Fox, where these people with special skills compete for money. I've only watched one full episode of the show because it's so incredibly stupid, but in researching for this video, I've found that they've had at least 3 different people with the exact same superpowers. The superpower I'm referring to is the incredible ability to look at stuff. Here are the 3 people that I'm talking about: John Bieniek, Jeff Hollis, and Dennis Just. You might think these guys look more visually impaired than anything, but that's actually not the case. Let's take a look at the first one, John Bieniek.
My name is John Bieniek. I am 32 years old, from Berkeley, Michigan, and I'm a web designer. My talent is enhanced stereoscopic vision. When I look at patterns, I'm able to overlap them within my mind and see kind of a 3D effect to it. I'm then able to see any minute or small changes within that pattern. Of course I'm superhuman.
Did you hear that? John's vision is superior because he can see things in 3 dimensions. It may not sound like much at first, but listen to this.
I may not be a mutant, but I feel that this ability is unique to me because there's not many people that have it.
Impressive. Apparently not many people can see in 3D. Now, I know what you're thinking. Anyone with 2 eyes can see the world in 3D. But according to the neuroscientist on the show, you're wrong. Let's watch John do his thing.
Now, John, on these 2 walls, there are 18,432 squares. The 2 walls right now are identical, but they're only going to stay identical for a short time. Mary Lynn here is going to switch 3 of the tiles. You'll need to find which 3 tiles have changed on the left panel and no longer identically match the tiles on the right panel. Think you got it?
I think I'll be able to do it. I hope so.
That's amazing, man. Looks like a resurgence of Woodstock.
Thank you, Mary Lynn.
You did it.
Unbelievable if you can pull this off.
Okay. All right. I see the first one.
Okay.
It's towards the center,
Towards the center.
just left of center,
Okay.
about shoulder length.
Yes. Does it peel off? It does peel off.
So this guy John is able to find different colored squares into almost identical boards. Next, we have this guy, Jeff Hollis.
My name is Jeff Hollis. My superhuman ability is that I have advanced stereoscopic vision. My vision is very precise. If something is different between 2 images, I can bring them together and I can notice it.
Did you hear that? His superhuman ability is to look at stuff in front of him using both of his eyes at the same time. Isn't that a common trait for predators?
My fiance, she doesn't get it necessarily. She kind of gets freaked out when I look at both of her eyes at the same time. She doesn't know where I'm looking.
He looks at his girlfriend like this? I wonder why she doesn't like that. Anyways, they made him find 3 differences between 2 videos, which is much more difficult than finding colored squares. But even though it's a more difficult challenge, it's still pretty easy in my opinion.
So the first one, it's toward the middle left of the screen, about center eye level, and it's a taxi cab tail light.
And last, but definitely not least, our contestant Dennis Just, who was given the challenge of finding misplaced letters on a big board.
My name is Dennis Just, and my superhuman ability is exceptional stereoscopic vision. So if there's 2 images side by side, if there's any differences between them, they're immediately apparent.
Or, in layman's terms, looking at stuff. His superhuman ability is looking at stuff. It's pretty simple.
That is a lot of letters,
3,440 to be exact.
but I found one.
Really?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah, you're gonna have to reach for this one, though.
Okay.
This is in the 3rd row, maybe 10 letters to the right of center.
Okay, let's see if you're right. Whoa!
So basically, these guys think they're special because they can look at stuff. But I really like the way this idiot neuroscientist explains it on the show. You heard me.
Dr. Jandial, how far beyond normal vision is this?
Well, this is over the top. And we don't actually see with our eyes, we see with our brains, and we have these built-in motion sensors. New cars kind of have them too. But what he has to do is not just say, this moved, but tell us exactly what it is. And that's an extremely difficult job you've given him.
Did you get that? He's saying he's amazed that this guy can use his eyes the same way that every single person with 2 eyes in their head uses them, by overlapping each eye's vision. That is literally why most of us are born with 2 eyes, so that we can see in 3 dimensions. So now I'm going to explain exactly what they're doing in case you haven't already figured it out yourself. You might have already noticed that their superpower is simply the ability to cross their eyes. Yep, That's it. If you can cross your eyes, you're a superhuman according to Cal Penn.
Yeah.
No. Now let me show you how it works. The way our eyes work is they each have their own image. They're very close to being exactly the same, but because they're taking up 2 different positions in space, they are slightly different. It's these slight differences that create a 3-dimensional effect in our brains. So here's your first challenge in learning this trick. For this, I'm going to be using images from my video titled Eating Garbage at the Park. It was made to be watched with a 3D headset, but for this, I'll be switching the images around horizontally so that it works just by crossing your eyes. First, take a look at these 2 identical images. Now cross your eyes so that the 2 images overlap. Do you see how your mind connects the 2 pictures into a single image? Pause the video if you need more time. Next, look at these images. If you view these images normally, you would probably have a difficult time seeing the difference. But look what happens if you merge them together. Do you see the difference flickering in the image like a strobe light? That's because your brain sees an anomaly and is switching dominance between each eye. Next, take a look at these 2 different images. I recorded these pictures by mounting 2 identical GoPros together, about 3 inches apart, just like our eyes are positioned in our heads. If you're able to merge them together, you should be able to see a 3D image of my next meal. If the hyperrealism of the food is making you hungry, I apologize. Finally, here's an image from the photo hunt game that you'll find in most bars. Using what I just showed you, can you see how obvious the differences are? This is why I'm always able to annihilate the top score in photo hunt games. Here's a clip of me playing it in a bar. So like I said, I'm sure a lot of you already know how to do this, and those who don't just simply weren't aware that they could. But for some reason, the producers at Fox and this idiot keep getting their mind blown by it. They even paid that dentist guy $50,000 for doing it on the show and winning.
Dennis Just!
Now, I have to admit, I did have some difficulty doing the show's challenges while watching it at home. But that's only because they selectively edited the footage so that we never get a perfect side-by-side view for long. I suppose this trick would lose its appeal if Fox actually let people try to do it at home and they saw how simple and stupid it is. Interesting side note, you could use this superpower to win at some casino photo hunt games that actually pay out money. This is a video we took at a bar in Washington, D.C. That's the end of my explanation, so now I'm going to show you a clip from my garbage eating video. The video is the same as the original one, except I switched the images around so the 3D effect works by simply crossing your eyes, instead of needing a 3D headset. I also suggest wearing headphones because the audio is 3D as well.